Welcome to the Empowered Women's Project, a podcast and community made by women for women to help you live your best life and reconnect you back to the things that really matter. As we start a new decade, I've got some really powerful questions for you to be able to check in and answer for yourself to help you focus on the things that really count. Sometimes we can get caught up in asking ourselves crappy questions, and when we do that, we get a crappy answer and we continue a spiral downward instead of really moving forward into our masterpiece life. So let's jump across to the podcast. I hope you enjoy. All right. Hey, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing day. It's Kate here from the Empowered Women's Project. And today, as we are closing off a old decade and stepping into a new one, I wanted to share with you some really powerful things that I think will help you maybe change the way you've maybe looked at the past, some of the challenges that you have faced in the past decade or during life, and also then looking at how you can ask yourself better questions to change the way you see things. What I've learned through a lot of the mentors that I've been blessed to work with, Anthony Robbins being one of them, is that questions really, the quality of our life comes down to the quality of the questions that we're asking ourselves every single day. And I know for me, when I was at a time of, or when I even go through a time of challenge and struggle, if I'm not resourceful in my thinking, I start asking myself shitty questions. I'll say, why is this happening to me? Why can't I do that? What do people think of me? There's all these different patterns that I tend to run when I go into a place of not being resourceful. And so I like to have these questions here as a reminder for me just to get myself back on track. Now, I think sometimes it's really important for us to feel shitty, feel those emotions. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think, you don't want to just brush everything aside and just charge forward. It's important to feel those emotions. But what's also just as important is knowing when it's time to pick yourself back up and then focus on the things that you do have control over and what you can change. We can't change the way people treat us. We can't change or affect people's opinions of us. We can do our best, but at the end of the day, the quality of our life does come back to the quality of the questions and how we frame things that are happening in our life. So I wanted to share with you some questions that I've been asking myself, because I want to help you create in the next decade of your life one that you love for yourself, not that's focused on trying to make others happy or meeting their approval, because you try and do that and you will live a very unfulfilled and sad life. And that is not what you were here put on this planet for. You were here to create your own destiny and to live your best life. And one of the things that I love about our mind is it is so freaking powerful. I think sometimes we underestimate what we can manifest and create. But here's the thing, we're either creating or destroying. The things we're saying to ourselves is either creating an exciting future or it's destroying one, because we might have self-doubt, self-sabotage. There's lots of different things that we can be affecting. So I want you to use your mind to your advantage. And if we start asking great questions, it helps change the focus of where we're going. So I think one of the first things, as we're stepping into a brand new decade, is looking at what was great about this last year or this last decade. Look at where you've actually grown. I think sometimes we actually forget to stop and just look back and go, oh my gosh, look at who I've become. Look at what I learned. Look at who I outgrew. Look at what I was able to create and achieve. Look at where I traveled. Like, there's so many amazing things that you've done. But I know sometimes it can be easy to hit a goal or a target and then just go next. And that's great. But it's so important to have that little moment of reflection and to go, what was great about this last year or this past decade? Then also thinking about who are some of the people that you look up to and you want to spend more time around in 2020. I think the people that you surround yourself says a lot about your life. Some people make you laugh, some challenge you, some frustrate you, some take you down, some push you forward. So it's really important to think about who you want to choose to be around. And maybe you're in a position right now in life that you don't necessarily have that circle of friends that you would love, or you feel like you're maybe changing paths a little bit and feeling a little bit of distance. I was having a chat with a beautiful lady earlier this week, and she was feeling lonely because I think she didn't realize that she was growing a little more than some of the circle that she'd been connected to. And I think what we want to do is, if you've got people physically around you, great. If not, pick up the phone, organize a time to jump on, a video call. But if that even isn't possible because you just don't feel like you've got your people, choose who is your board of mentors that you want to be plugging into your ears on a consistent basis through 2020. Whether that is some great podcasts, some audio books, there are some brilliant people out there that can be your board of mentors to guide you through and help you, create your amazing life until you find people like that are in, your vicinity. Maybe it's you going to a seminar and scheduling something and making some incredible friends. I know for me, some of my most dearest friends I've met at events and seminars where they were looking to learn and grow as well, just like me. So I think that's really important, just to kind of take note of who you want to spend time with, who lifts you up, who challenges you, and who maybe isn't really serving you right now, and how you can start to change, who you spend your time with. The next question I'd love you to think about is, what would you do or try this year if you knew you couldn't fail? I am speaking from experience. I doubt myself often. And I think, we just forget our potential. We forget what's within us. We forget how powerful we truly are. And there's something deep down inside of you that you would love to try. It might be learning salsa dancing, or learning to play guitar, or taking singing lessons, or it could be jumping out of a plane. I don't know what it is. But just schedule something on your calendar, whether it's a one-off event or whether it's something that you learn over time for this year ahead that you're doing that's actually challenging you a little bit out of your comfort zone. But at the end of it, when you look back, you'll be so freaking proud of yourself. Something I had on my list for a really long time was to go skydiving, and I just didn't actually make the time to schedule it. And I'd actually given it as a gift to my husband many years ago as a birthday present. And I was so excited for him that he did it, but I just hadn't made the time. And I got the opportunity a little while back where it was not planned. It was not scheduled. It was totally a spur of the moment. And I literally had 15 minutes to decide if I wanted to go up or not. And I was so scared. I thought, oh my gosh, I've been thinking of this moment for so long. And I actually have a chance, and I could back out, and I didn't. I decided to say yes and feel the fear and do it anyway. And it was one of the most exhilarating experiences that I've ever had. And I actually want to schedule more, around the world in different locations. And so, that was something I was so proud of myself that I just went, okay, opportunities here. I'm just going to go for it. So think about, at the end of 2020, what you'd look back on and go, wow, I'm so proud I challenged myself. I'm so proud I maybe looked a bit silly or stupid for a while before I got well. You think about anyone who is exceptional in this world, whether it's an incredible singer, an incredible athlete, an incredible artist, they all started being crap. Like, they didn't just wake up and had this beautiful gift. They had to work on it. Every Olympic gold medal athlete or champion or whatever it might be that inspires you, they weren't great from the start. They had to get a little awkward. They had to look a little uncomfortable. And so you can't expect to be amazing at everything that you try. So just be kind to yourself and give it a go. Another question I want you to ask yourself and plan is, where is one thing that I would love to travel to and experience? So there could be a place that you want to go to. There could be an experience. It could be going to a concert, seeing someone live in concert. It could be going to, whitewater rafting in France. It could be, I don't know what it is for you. It could be sipping champagne at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, or it could be something beautiful and simple like going camping with your family that you've never been able to bring together at any one time, and you making it happen. Think about that, because when we start to think about things and focus, we're changing the direction of our thoughts. Our mind can't think about other crappy things. So it's getting us to think about the things that actually matter, what we want to create, and then you will be absolutely blown away by what starts to unfold. The universe works in incredible and mysterious ways when you can get clear on the things that you want to attract into your life. Another thing What's something new that I want to learn? So maybe this is whether it's learning a new language, maybe it is thinking about, it could be, I don't know, it could be learning how to do pottery. It could be learning how to, teach Japanese. I don't know what it is for you, just something new that you want to learn. It could be getting a book around something that you're passionate about. Just put something on the schedule that's going to challenge and grow you. Another question that I love is, who is someone that I want to give back to in 2020? And giving back to someone can look like many different things. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be giving back in time. It can be giving back just through love and appreciation. I think one of the most rewarding ways of giving back to people is actually doing it anonymously as well. To be able to give the gift of, a random act of kindness to someone and them actually not know about it, and you just know in yourself that you did a good thing and that you were able to raise some money or to create something special for them that they otherwise wouldn't have done. To be able to do that is really special. It could be a charity. It could be a person that's made a difference to you in your life. Again, if it's not a focus or a thought, it's really easy for us to have another year go by and we actually haven't let them know that we're grateful for them, that they meant so much, and that you want to give it back. Now, it doesn't have to be anonymous. You can definitely, give back to them and let them know about it. But just if it's not on your radar, it probably won't happen. Here's an interesting question I want you to ask yourself. What is something or someone that you choose to give up that's no longer serving you anymore? So this could be a habit that could be not serving you. It could be drinking lots of alcohol. It could be smoking. It could be binge eating. It could be emotional eating. It could be someone that is not serving you as far as a partner or a friend that's really pulling you down or creating drama in your life. Just thinking about what that something or someone is. And I think, there's ways to delicately start to remove people from your life. There's also ways to do it in a heavy way, and you really get to choose how it plays out. But if there's someone in your life that either their opinion isn't serving you or their influence isn't serving you, it's up to you to change your environment. It's up to you to make a difference of where you're spending your time and who you're actually spending it with. So it could be, I know for me, if I think about a habit that isn't really serving me. When I get stressed, if I allow myself and I get into like an unresourceful place, I kind of would either eat crappy foods, or I would maybe have a couple of drinks just to kind of get the edge off. And that's been something I look as a pattern in my life over, I'm in my 39th year right now. I can't believe it. The last months of my 30s, and that's been my go-to. Like other people, that's not what they do. It's something else. And so that's something that I really work on to go, no, I don't need that. When you go for that, whether it's food or smoking or I don't know what it is for you, ask yourself the question, what am I trying to avoid right now? Because that's a way better thing to look at than just, you eat the food or you drink the drink and then afterwards you feel crap and nothing's different. So it's something that, you want to choose, be empowered to choose something or someone that you want to give up and that isn't serving you. Something that, you'll feel really good about in the long term as well. Here is a really cool question, and I love this because sometimes I feel like, when you're in the middle of it could be a trauma, a really tough time in your life. At that time, you just feel like it's the worst thing that could possibly have happened to you. And then you look at months, years, sometimes it's more often years down the track, you actually look back and you realize that it was actually the best thing that could have happened to you. So I want you to answer this question. What's something that's happened to you in the past 10 years that at the time you thought was the worst thing ever, but now you actually see it as a blessing? And it could have been an accident. It could have been getting laid off your job. It could have been the end of a relationship. And at the time it hurt and it was horrible. But that opened up a doorway that would never have unfolded had those things happened or not happened. That meant that you are now on a different path, that you moved locations, you got a promotion, you were able to move through a health challenge, whatever that is for you. I think sometimes it's really easy just to go, this was horrible, but if we look for the blessing, it will always be there. So I really want you to take some time to think about what that one thing was for you and how you've grown from it. Another question I want you to think about is, how are you going to take care of your body and your health for this year ahead? Because, our body is our temple. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter, all the other stuff. At the end of the day, if we don't have our health, we don't get to live our best life. So yes, we can focus on all the stuff on the outside that make us pretty and feel good. So you get your nails done and you get your hair done and you got your lashes and whatever. All of that is superficial when it comes to your health. And what I've observed in a lot of people is they're a little bit too much focused on the outside, our exterior, versus how our body is healing and functioning. So if you feel like, oh, I'd love to get a gym membership, or I'd love to take better care of myself, but I just can't afford it. I'm telling you right now, ladies, you can't afford not to. And I bet if you just stopped getting your nails done for a little bit and you diverted that money towards a beautiful, way of taking care of yourself nutritionally, the program that, my husband and I have created alongside of our beautiful team, Tribal Wellness, we're so passionate about helping people getting their health back. And so, you could be diverting a few dollars a day that's actually going into health, prevention, vitality, helping you thrive instead of just feeling pretty on the outside. We want you to be thriving all the way through life. So have a little think about how you're going to take care of your body. And if you are interested, check out tribalwellness.com and you can see how our program is helping families make beautiful changes in their life as well. Here's a really good one. Who are the people that you can count on as an accountability buddy that you know are going to have your back? Because there's friends, and then there's friends that are going to be like, girl, no, don't go there. Don't tell yourself that story. You're better than this. You said that you were going to commit to exercising 5 days a week. Whatever it is, we're doing it. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about. They might be local, they might be on a phone call away, but those are the kind of people that I want you to think about. And I would encourage you then, if you find one or two people, to let them know and to say, hey, I really want to step into 2020 and just make it my year. And I know I've got a couple of habits or a couple of patterns that I run when I'm not that resourceful. Can I count on you that I can call you and have you love me and kick me in the butt at the same time? And I bet you, firstly, they will be honored. And secondly, it will help them step up personally as well. So think about who those accountability buddies are and call them. Let them know that that's who they are for you, and know that they're there to challenge you, because having a friend that just keeps on patting you on the back and tells you what they think you want to hear all the time, that isn't true friendship. And sometimes really loving someone is actually telling them the things that they don't want to hear. So if you can be that for someone else too, then that's amazing also. Here's another question for you. Whose opinion really matters in your life moving forward? I listened to a podcast a little while back, and they said that the average person has 5 people at their funeral that will cry at their funeral. Everyone else is showing up because they feel a little bit obligated. Now, I'd like to think that I'm going to be above average on that. If there's a goal that what kind of a random topic to be talking about. But the reason I bring it up is, at the end of the day, when you look back on your life, whose opinion really, really counts? First of all, I'm going to say your opinion. That's number one. You want to be so congruent with living to your values, but sometimes we can get caught up in the opinions of others. It could be a well-meaning parent that wants you to live your life a certain way, that doesn't approve of your career, that doesn't approve of your partner, that, oh, now you're a solo mama and that doesn't meet their standards. So you've just got people's opinions that are we can't control people's opinions. We just can't. And whether they share them with us or others, again, not something we can control, but we can control what we actually choose to listen to, what we tune into, and what we just filter straight out and go, that's their own stuff. So think about who are those people, their opinions that really matter. And it's probably going to be a handful at the most. It might be your children. It might be, a partner, a loved one. That make sure it's those that actually really, really count. And the others, I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but the others, just put your Bose headphones on noise cancel and just don't even hear it, because it is just not serving you at all, unless you want to use that as a fuel to move forward, but trying to prove other people wrong is not the right fuel. You want to be drawn by, a vision and a purpose for your life, not just trying to prove someone wrong. So just think about that and be mindful, be thoughtful of those opinions. And when someone sends something your way that they really don't matter, just let it go. I promise you, you will feel so much better for it. Here's a cool one. I want you to reflect back on something that was once a goal that you set for yourself, that was once a dream, but now you've achieved it. It might have been as a little girl, you said that you wanted to have a horse and now you actually have one. Or it could be something that you wrote down that you wanted to move to a certain town or country and, and get a certain job, and that's what you're doing. It might be you meeting your partner or being a mama. Everyone has something that was once a dream that used to take up space in your mind and you used to think about it, and now it's yours. It's actually come true. And the reason I want you to kind of think back about that is what I find is that sometimes as we get a little bit older and a little bit wiser, we actually stop dreaming for ourselves. We stop dreaming, and the things that got you to where you are today was old thinking, old beliefs. So for you to continue creating your masterpiece life, whatever that looks like for you and your family, if you have one, it's a new level of thinking, a new level of dreaming, a new level of beliefs. So think about then moving forward, what's an area of your life that need to focus for this new year so you can live your best life? What's a goal that you can set and start to dream a little bit? And it's not necessarily something that has to be achieved in the year 2020. It could be something that could be 5 or 10 years away, but it's just setting that intention of what you want to create, because it's new thoughts, new thinking that's going to create that new next version of yourself. It's like I said, where you are today is a result of the thoughts and the feelings and the actions that you've taken in the past, and we want to be able to move forward. So another thing that I want you to think about is what's a new positive habit that you're going to choose for the year ahead. It could be starting your day and drinking 2 glasses of water with lemon. It could be, listening to a meditation before you actually get into your day. It could be in your lunch break at work. It could be going for a walk instead of just sitting at your desk and working through. It could be listening to audiobooks. I love Audible. Or podcasts, for example, instead of watching the TV or listening to the radio on your way to and from work. So it might be little, it might be big. It could be quitting, smoking and making an upgrade in your health. Just think about what's something that you want to commit to for the year ahead, and something that you can grow upon as well. It doesn't have to be a big cold turkey, all or nothing kind of thing. Just be kind to yourself around it and start to make some choices of how you can make one positive change. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself. Why do you need to remember about who you really are for 2020 so that the world gets to see the real you? So what do you need to remember about who you really are so that the world gets to see the real you? Do you need to remember that you are a freaking kind-hearted, big dreaming woman, that you have been through challenge and hardship, but you've come out better and stronger? Do you need to remember that, people actually are so grateful for you in their lives and the difference that you've made already? Do you need to remember that, you have already created such amazing, legacy for yourself and your family, and you want to help other people? Like, sometimes we just forget our greatness. And, I bet there's the people. So think back to the people that we are thinking about their opinion of you. If you were to say to them, what do I need to remember about myself? If you're finding like you're coming up with a blank, I think you'll be brought to tears with some of the things that they would share with you. So I think, just take a moment to go, yeah, what have I forgotten about what I've been through, how I've already triumphed in so many ways, the kind of friend I am, the kind of mama I am, the way I show up, the way I've already achieved just think about what you need to remember so that the world gets to see more of your amazingness for this next year and decade ahead. Another question for you is, what are you most grateful for in your life right now? It could be where you live. It could be your family. It could be something simple as just being able to step outside and being, surrounded by amazing trees and sunshine. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be small, but it just has to be meaningful to you. And, gratitude, honestly, I believe makes the world go around. When we can start to focus on the things that we're grateful for, like I said earlier, our mind can only focus on one thing at any one time, as powerful as it is. So when you focus on those things, you'll create and attract more of that into your life. I hope these questions have been helpful for you. I know for me, it definitely just gets me to feel really good about where I've come. Sometimes I think we can be hard on ourselves and go, well, I'm not here yet, and I thought I'd be here further along by now, and I should have done this and I should have done that. We have all these shoulds for ourselves, but sometimes it's nice to stop and just actually acknowledge and recognize where we've come. So I've got one last question for you, and I think this is a really special one, and that is, think back, if you could travel back to 2010 right now, or whenever you're listening to this podcast 10 years earlier, what advice would you give to yourself, that 10-year younger version of yourself, and how can you use that to your advantage for the future? Would it be to never stop dreaming? Would it be to leave that guy? Would it be to don't forget about how amazing you are and that your voice matters and that you can make a difference? Would it be not be so hard on yourself and ask for help? Don't try and do it alone. Just have a little think about what you would say to yourself and how you can actually use that to your advantage. Because the truth is, you actually know all the answers. You are so wise, you are so incredible, and your heart is big. But sometimes I think we look outwardly for other people's opinions or thoughts or direction on what we should do without remembering how we actually have the answers within us. We just need to trust that we've got what it takes to be able to create our best life. So I am really excited for the year ahead. I'm really looking forward to interviewing lots more incredible women and showcasing their stories and how they're creating an empowered life, and just how we can help you live yours as well. So thank you so much for joining in. If you haven't yet checked out our website, check out empoweredwomensproject.com. We'd love to chat with you on a future episode, and hope you have an amazing day. We hope you enjoyed our special podcast to help you get really clear on the questions that you can be asking yourself to set yourself up for an incredible year beyond. So to learn more about the Empowered Women's Project, you can visit empoweredwomensproject.com, or you can check us out at our other social media handles. We would love it if you would head across to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. And also we'd love to hear what you want to learn more about. There's so many women out there shining bright, and we're always on the lookout for sharing their stories so we can help you live your best life as well. Have an incredible day. We can't wait to see you step up and step into your next level of greatness so that you can live your best life and inspire other women to do the same.